I'm Satya Twena. I am a New York City hat factory owner and a milliner. I started making hats about 4 years ago, and my husband always wears hats. So I took a hat making class after my day job. So I would work like 9 to 7:30 and then run to FIT and take evening courses because I felt like I wasn't doing the creative stuff that I really wanted to be doing. And about 2 weeks after this evening continuing education course, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. And as she started losing her hair, I started making her hats. I didn't think at the time, I didn't put two and two together that it would actually be my business and something that I'm completely passionate about. But about 9 months after she was diagnosed and as she started to get better, I realized that I had created all these hats in my apartment and just fell in love. So, it was my first entrepreneurial experience in launching a business, and loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. Hats aren't as popular as they were in the 1940s, where men and women wouldn't leave their house without wearing a hat. But I think it's coming back in vogue and in fashion, and I've definitely seen the increase in people understanding and wanting hats. And for me, I love a hat. I feel like I change my hat according to how I'm feeling. I put on something that's a little bit more feminine and fun, and sometimes I have something that's a little bit more masculine and dominant. And a hat is really an opportunity to express who you are through something that's fashionable. Yeah, and so I think of it as like something fun that you can play with and expresses who you are. So when I started my business, I knew nothing about A, running a business, and B, an online business, nor a fashion industry business. And so I would recommend for anybody who is interested in being more entrepreneurial and starting their own thing is really doing your research, understanding the market, understanding how people are buying, their behavior. There's so much information on the internet right now about business and entrepreneurship. I was on Shopify's blog, and they're like giving so much information about how to run your business successfully. And so for me, it would just be doing your research. Really, everybody's like, oh, this is a great opportunity, that's a great opportunity. But not all opportunities are good for you. And really understanding what's involved, where do you want to go? Another thing that I would tell somebody who's interested in being entrepreneurial and starting their own thing is, what's the end goal, right? Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? Do you want to have a business that gives you freedom and flexibility? Do you want a business that requires you to be there all the time? And do you want 50 to 100, 1,000 employees? Like, getting really specific as to how you want to feel and what you want to grow will help you build the steps that you need to take and the roadmap to where you want to go. I have so many real life superheroes. My husband, Jeffrey, he is truly a superhuman. Yeah, he's just so phenomenal. And the reason that he's my superhero out of all these other great, amazing people that I know and love, is because he balances me. The times where I think the sky is falling, he inspires me to believe that I can go bigger, better, and stronger. And for me, that's what a superhero does. They come in and they give you the security and the safety to know that wherever you need to go next, you can do it and you can achieve it. And so I'm incredibly lucky that while he's not my business partner, he's my partner in life, and that I have somebody incredibly smart and inspiring like him to keep me going when I don't think I can. My superpower, and I think I've got multiple superpowers, but I think that first thing that comes to mind is that I inspire women to go deeper, to go farther, to get in the feminine, to be sexy, to play bigger. And that is definitely my superpower. And in addition to that, I would say that my ability just to continue to say yes. I always show up, even if in the past, I've realized that it's burned me to say yes, even though I've said yes and yes and yes time and again before. Saying yes and not letting my history or the past dictate how I rule my future, but using it as a basis to understand how I interact with the experience.